Well, now at least 2 California lawmakers are demanding answers after the ATF raided the store, even after the store had received a court-ordered injunction to stop it. Now, the problem is the ATF not only seized the so-called illegal parts they were looking for, but also reportedly took the store's confidential client list. Congressman Duncan Hunter is a member of the House Armed Services Committee, and he's from California, and he's my guest today. Good to see you, Congressman. I know you've written a letter now to the ATF. What are your major concerns about what happened during this raid?
2 major concerns, regardless of what the gun company did. One is the gun company had an injunction against the ATF, which the ATF then went to a different judge that liked them more and got that reversed so they could then raid the company. Number 2, we want to know what's going to happen with this information. So the ATF took all of these different customer lists, and my question to them is, what are you going to do with them? Are you going to be raiding people's homes in San Diego now? I mean, I would say, if you have everybody's information, you can write them a letter or an email. We don't need ATF SWAT-type raids on people's homes because they happen to buy something from this company. Well, what are they going to use that information for? And when you combine this with the Lois Lerner IRS kind of saga that's going on, where you have government agencies that do in fact target specific groups and specific people, that's what worries us here.
Very interesting point to draw those 2 things together. So I just want our viewers to understand this, that the ATF says that they needed to raid this place because they believed that this particular gun store was selling so-called illegal parts to guns. But on top of that, you're worried that people who have legally purchased guns will have their confidential information given away, right?
Yeah, and what is the ATF going to do with this? I mean, if they're just looking for criminals that may have bought the guns and cross-referencing people, then that's fine. What we don't want to see is San Diegans' homes being raided by an ATF SWAT team, because the ATF in the past has had a tendency to, let's just say, go overboard a little bit on certain things like this. That's what we don't want to see. So we want the ATF to come out and be transparent and say, right, this is why we did this. Here's what we're going to do with this information, and we'll treat everybody in a fair manner, which is what we want to hear from them.
So, Congressman, just to clarify, I know you can't see the screen, but what's on our screen right now is this so-called illegal part, the AR-15.
It's a lower receiver made for an AR-15 or an M4.
Yeah.
Right.
So apparently you can use these parts to put together your own guns. Is that correct?
Yes, you can make your own guns. I have done that. My little brother has done that. Family members, friends. You can make your own rifles, and they sell lower receivers, which are not weapons. But if that lower receiver crosses a certain threshold, it can be thought of as a weapon. That is a subjective process. We're probably going to see this in the courts. Okay. That they're going to figure out whether it was 80% or not. But that's besides the point. We want to protect the American citizens' information, right to privacy, and stop agencies from basically going over bounds.
Congressman, I know that you recently wrote this letter to the ATF. I have it in front of me. But have you had a response?
No, we have not. And we aren't necessarily expecting a response. This will probably take some more pushing. Organizations like the ATF every now and then get kind of obstinate, and it's up to us to go in there and get the answers. It's up to you, the media, to put pressure on them to give answers. We just want transparency. We want what's right for the people.
We will continue to follow the story. Thanks so much for your time today, Congressman Hunter.